Hey everyone, and welcome. First off, I have to acknowledge a big thank you. I reached 100 subscribers. Look, it's very cool. It's a big deal for me. So I appreciate everyone. Thank you so much. Next stop, 1,000. Ugh, oh boy. Today, let's talk about your feet. I have a bass drum, I have a hi-hat. Maybe you have double bass, maybe you work on double bass. Doesn't matter that I have a hi-hat. I can do double bass exercises, and I do if I want to practice something with my feet. I like to have both feet, so I'll do singles with the feet, as I'm doing some pattern here. I'll do paradiddles, the feet. All right, I'll do doubles. So, I keep my left foot active. So if I put a bass drum, double bass or hooked up another pedal to the thing, I'm fine with that. I'm cool. The only difference is here, I don't have the same action on my hi-hat pedal as I do on my bass pedal. So I would want equal pedals. I'm okay with this E drum hi-hat pedal here. It's just a pedal by itself. You know, Sometimes it's a little wonky with what I want to do with it. Sometimes I like to get really busy with it as far as, eighth notes or whatever, or 16th notes, or a push-pull, with the push-pull, there's the hand where, where you're just doing the push-pull technique. I like to do that where actually, that was working fine there at that slower tempo, but but sometimes it's really, and I don't get the result I want. So, but that's fine. So here is how I position my foot. Let's concentrate on the bass drum. Anything you do with your right, if you're a double bass player, you're going to do with your left, okay? Same thing with the left as you do with the right. Here's how I position my foot when I'm playing bass drum. Here's also how I position my foot. Heel down, heel up. I do both. Now, sometimes, depending on who I was playing with, I might be all over the pedal. I might be sideways here. I might be up top. I might be down below, a little more to the middle, depending. But I'm always in control. That's what you want to work on. You want to work on control, and that comes through time. So I do both. I'm going to tell you why. If you only do one, if you're out there and you're more advanced or whatever, and you only do heel up, great. I'm not going to tell you to do the other one. If you only do heel down, cool, fine. Whatever works for you, works for you. Here's why I do both. I was glad when I was small that I learned, that I was taught different styles of music. So I could play jazz, I could play Latin, I can play fusion, I can play rock, I can play mainstream, I can play country rock, progressive stuff. I played a lot of styles. So I was able to get work based on people knowing, oh yeah, we need a drummer for the week. Our drummer got sick and can you fill in? Sure. Because they know I can play jazz, or they know I can play fusion, and they know I can play rock. All right? So you get a reputation, you want that reputation. Now, if you only want to play one style, like if you're a heavy metal drummer, I just want to play heavy metal, that's all I want to do, and that's all I'm going to do. Great, go for it. Much success and get in the band and kick some butt, all right? But I came from a different route. So here's why I do it. First of all, let's have you do something. If you're sitting in a chair, maybe you're at the drums, but if you're at the drum, whatever. If you're sitting in a chair, sit like you're sitting at a drum. Don't be lounging back in the chair, whatever. Sit like you would be sitting at a drum kit. Put your feet on the floor like you would have your feet on the pedals, and just rest them on the flat on the floor. Okay, your feet are flat on the floor, you're sitting straight. Now I want you to lift your heel just a little bit. Lift your heel a little bit off the ground. All right, now put it back down. Relax. Lift it up. What do you notice? Well, you should notice you're using more muscles, more energy to keep that heel up. All right? If you put it down, boom. Now you'll feel that some muscles up in here are being used, perhaps in the calf, down here. All right? So based on I could play any style. You're not going to be fortunate enough to right off the bat be playing stadiums or arenas or big concert halls and auditoriums. You're going to be playing probably maybe little clubs, little rooms, little lounges. You probably play a backyard. Of course, you're going to play in a backyard. In the garage, hey, everybody, we're going to have a concert in the garage. Yeah, okay, great. You're not always going to be mic'd up. Your drums, a lot of times, won't be mic'd professionally because you're not at that level, perhaps. So, and because of that, I'm playing, say, in a jazz situation, in a little room, nice little intimate room. I'm heeled down all the time. I don't need to be heeled up. If I'm just riding a simple ride, okay? I don't need to be heeled up. It's just I'm going to waste more energy. It's about energy efficiency. I'm always about that. Like, why do more than you have to, right? If you're an athlete, if you've played sports and everything, you're really specific on why use this muscle to do this when you don't need that, all right? It's hindering you from being proficient at what you want to do. Now, if I'm in an energy band and you're in an arena and you're in a big theater and it's kick ass and you just pound and boom, yeah, I'll be here. I'll be all over the place. I'll be up off my seat. It's fun. So, and they talk about, well, power. The power. You get more power with your heel up. Well, is that true? Perhaps, maybe. Depends. I mean, obviously, if I'm just pounding down on my leg, but I'm not lifting my leg all the way up and doing this. All right? It's just my heel is up. But I can get, if I'm powering, but I can get a lot of power just heel down. All right? So, it's all conditioning. If you condition yourself heel down and just play heel down all the time, and you can get power, no problem. You're just going to build up the muscles that you need to be, all right? You can't have your leg back here, though, all right? You can only do heel up back here. You don't want that. You want it nice, comfortably, maybe a little bit from your knee down, facing a little bit forward, so it's comfortable. You're relaxed. All right? So now, striking the head, there's two ways to do it. Right? Just like a snare hit. You can rebound. All right? So the rebound is just coming off the head. And you get more of a tonal quality. You get more of the reverberation, more of the tone of the drum. What they call burying the beater. There's different terms people use, but if you bury the beater, that means just driving the beater into the head. And you're holding it there. Right? On a typical drum, you'll hear a difference. There's a muffling sound. On the electronic drums, you're really not going to hear the difference. If I come off or bury the beater, you're getting the same sound because of the electronic drums. That's one thing I don't like. Whatever. I can demonstrate on the snare drum as far as the muffling goes. Okay, just on the pad though. If I'm on the pad, coming off the drum. Now if I'm burying the stick into the drum, I hope you hear the difference. I can't because I'm hearing the snare sound. So the pad should be sounding different from this to this. And that's what you're doing with the bass pedal. So into the drum, burying the beater, or coming off. All right? So I can get good power from a standstill, heel down, as well as heel up. All right, so with that in mind, I'm going to do an exercise Let's just do a quick exercise to work on your pedal. What you're doing with your right foot, you can do with your left foot. What you do with your heel down, if you're doing both, do heel down, do heel up. If you only do heel up, then just practice heel up. And let's do this pattern. It's kind of a pattern on the bass that I'm going to do, something I did several videos ago with my hands. It was kind of increasing in note value and then decreasing again. So starting with quarter notes, 1 to eighth notes, eighth note triplets, sixteenths, 16th triplets, 32nd notes. Right, and then I worked my way back down. I did a video on that with my hands. We're going to kind of do a similar thing with our feet, not the 32nd notes or anything, and we'll do it at a slower tempo, just to give you an exercise that you can do with your feet to develop control. And again, at first it's about slow, then building up your speed. So we'll do half notes for 2 bars, then quarter notes, then eighth notes, eighth note triplets, 16th notes, back down to eighth note triplets, eighth notes, quarter notes, half notes. So just the bass, it would be, and I'll do heel down, it'll be 1, 2, 3, 4. Second bar would be 1, 2, 3, 4. Third bar, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 2 and 3 and 4 and then 16th notes, 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and all right, and we'll do it at 80 beats per minute. Let's just do the bass. Actually, no. You can do the bass on your own to check yourself. You might want to just check the bass solely, but once you get that for a few minutes, you want to add your hands. You always want to get your hands involved and get a beat going. So let's keep it simple. We'll do 2 and 4 on the hi-hat and on the snare, and then all 4s on the ride, okay, while we're doing the bass sequence. All right, let's do the pattern. Here we go. 1, 2, ready, go. Well, was I happy with my thing? No. I was a little, because I've said this before, when I usually do these drum videos, this is my kind of warming up. I turn the lights on, put the camera on, and do it the first time I'm playing for the day. So sometimes, a lot of times I don't need to warm up. Sometimes I do, and that just felt a little off, a little inconsistent. So anyway, don't hold that against me. I'm going to add this little thing here because there's a lot of great songs, double bass stuff. If you're into metal, I mean, you can find a lot of songs. Just the double bass is so fantastic. I'm sure some of you might be playing along to the song Bleed. Cool, great, awesome, but there's a lot of great double bass stuff. But I always hear the same consistency, which is great. It works. It drives. There's no problem with it. I'm not saying that. But I never hear dynamic changes, which I think would be really cool. If it's out there, I haven't scoured to know. But if anybody knows of a drummer in a band that's playing dynamics with double bass, and by that I mean like little accents here and there, whatever. I'm going to demonstrate on the large tom here. So when you hear double bass, you pretty much hear it's the same tune, the same and same sound and everything, and it's always straightforward, All right. straightforward, boom, driving. Again, nothing wrong with that. It works. But I think this would be even cooler if you put little accents. It's still double bass, pretend it's double bass. If you were hearing accents in there, just whatever the pattern would be, do you know of any? Let me know. I'd like to hear it. I definitely would. And the bass drums are always tuned the same too. They're always the same tune and sound. So dig 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 dig. Fine. But what if they were tuned differently? Or one the bass drums was a smaller size than the other one bass drum. That would be cool too to hear in a song in a cool group. I'll demonstrate just by ear. You know, it's not going to sound the same, but with accents and the different tuning. That would be cool to hear a bass drum tuned differently and playing accents. All right. Anyway, maybe I'll do that. I'll just do it. You know, I'll change this to a bass drum and start playing a little bit. So I hope that kind of gives you a little insight. Basically, wanted to show you. I heel down, heel up. I do both. I position my foot sometimes up top, down. Sometimes I'll bury the beater. I'll rebound the beater. I'll bury and rebound in the same measure, depending. I gave you my reasons why I do both. I do both. I'm not going to dissuade you from doing one or the other. Right? Do what's best for you and what works for you. Right? And work on those dynamics. That's going to do it for today. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Please subscribe if you're so inclined. Thank you all subscribers. Now go have some fun. Go drum.